Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So we have one part left from the deployment of the package, and that was with the data. Because in the last video, what we did, we deploy the package, but we just deploy the structure, not the data. And like I shared with you that most of the time, we normally use that practice if we want to use the structure to build some logic in the dev or UAT environment, and we don't want to use the production data, so we can use the structure and we can take the backup of the model from production environment, but only the structure, not the data, and we can restore either in development or the UAT environment. Now what we are going to do, we are going to see the reverse thing, or if we build something within the dev environment and let's say the data is not critical in terms of we can live with the data, or if we are taking a backup from the production environment and we know the data classification is not sensitive, so we can restore in the dev environment and we can build the functionality in the dev environment. So how we are going to replicate our production MDS or master data services model into our development or UAT environment. So what we are going to do, like I mentioned, the practice is going to be the same. We are going to use the similar command, MDS model deploy, and I'm just going to now show you a couple of changes. Instead of, we are going to call deploy new, right? And I'm just going to call analytical, let's say MDS1, right? So rest of the version will remain. We don't need to mention the version, I believe, because it will automatically restore the version to the first version. And obviously we need to mention the package location where our package is sitting. Now there's one more thing I'm going to I'm going to change the file that include the data, because if you remember in the last video, and if you haven't watched it, please go and watch. I'm going to put the link into the description, so you can see in here we have two files. One is one file contain the data, the other file does not contain the data. And now if you can look at in here, I'm just restoring the package file which has the data, which is obviously the first one. So what I'm going to do, just on the safe side, I'm just going to now remove the file name, and I'm going to just paste the file, so there is no confusion. So that's the package file that I have created, and that includes the data. So once I restore it, it's going to deploy the model, but then what it will do, it will restore the data as well. So now let's see what's gonna do. Okay, MDS model deploy, sorry. All right, I think that's the, and I need to change. Yeah. It's just complaining about the syntax, which I believe is going to be fine because we are in the same directory. Let's try now. So we let it run, because now what it's going to do, it's going to restore the whole model structure as well as the data within our environment. And we'll see in a moment. Excellent. So we got the message that it has completed successfully. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just coming back to my portal, and voila, we have two models. And by the way, it shows us we can restore the same model multiple times under different model names. So we can reuse the file for multiple ones. So we normally have this sort of requirement where if we want to use one model for multiple purposes, sometime if we are strict with the resources, or we have limitation or constraint in terms of cost and all these additional functional non-functional constraints which restrict our access to single server, and we want to perform different kind of operations. So that's really powerful. Like you can restore one model under different model names in your environment, and then you can use it independently from each other, right? So you don't need to create a new version again and again. So now if I come in here, so MDS1 is the one which not only have the structure, but also has the data. So let me explore it. And you can see we have the data sitting into my entities. Let me just explore a couple of more entities. So you can see the product category entity has the data, and I do believe product is going to have the data as well. So you can see the whole data has been restored without any issue, right? So that's a very powerful concept, that you can restore it from production to dev or dev to production. And obviously we can automate the whole process. Like we can deploy it through PowerShell, or we can generate the script and we can let our infrastructure team to run it, or they can schedule it using PowerShell. So it's a completely, a standard practice which we can follow while we are releasing our master data services model from dev environment to production environment, right? Because normally the standard practice is the production environment is out of the reach of the dev guys. So we obviously follow that while we are working in the real environment. So hopefully you understand now the concept of how we can do the deployment of our MDS packages from dev to production, or even production to dev, or if you want to restore it multiple times. These are the simple methods or command that you can use to do it. If you have any question, please feel free to post. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you in the next video with more option for the master data services deployment. Thanks for watching.